Once upon a time, in a magical kingdom called Elyoria, there lived a princess whose beauty and heart were known far and wide. The land shimmered with colors, fragrances, and glowing spells. Its people lived in peace and happiness, but none were more loved or admired than Princess Ezabell, whom everyone fondly called the Enchanted Princess. Her eyes sparkled like blue stars, her hair gleamed with strands of sunlight, and her heart carried a magic that connected the earth to the heavens. When she spoke, flowers hummed melodies, and when she smiled, the birds burst into song. But deep within her heart dwelled a quiet sadness and unfulfilled dream, the search for her soulmate, the one destined to be her unusual groom. Every day, princes from faraway kingdoms visited the palace, bringing rare treasures, crowns of diamonds, enchanted swords, and stones that glowed with ancient power, hoping to win her heart. But Ezabell always smiled gently and said, "I do not seek wealth or strength. I seek someone who can understand my world, not just admire my magic." The king and queen grew worried. Time was slipping away, and it seemed their daughter would never find her match. But Ezabell believed with all her heart that her destiny was waiting for her somewhere, beyond the ordinary, beyond the light. One evening, as the sun sank behind the silver mountains and the sky bathed in shades of rose and gold, something strange appeared beyond the palace walls. Through the swirling clouds, a dark bird soared, its wings trailing blue sparks of light. It circled the tallest tower of the palace and landed gracefully. Ezabell watched in awe. As she stepped closer, the bird dissolved into smoke, and from that mist emerged a tall, mysterious young man. His eyes were the deep blue of the ocean, his cloak seemed woven from the fabric of night, and yet, around him lingered a gentle calm. He bowed slightly and said, "I am Ezalon, the guardian of the Shadow Lake." Ezabell asked softly, "How did you come to my palace?" He smiled faintly. "I have traveled through your dreams for many nights. Your voice called me here." Her heart fluttered. She had never felt such truth in anyone's words. But the courtiers and palace magicians grew fearful. They whispered, "He is a creature of darkness, princess. Stay away from him." Yet for the first time, Ezabell's heart chose to trust. "If there is darkness in him," she said, "then I shall seek the light within it." Ezalon extended his hand. "Come with me. Let me show you my world. Do you trust me?" Ezabell hesitated only a moment before saying, "I trust the voice of my heart." The moment she placed her hand in his, a wave of radiant light surrounded them, and in an instant, they vanished. When Ezabell opened her eyes, she found herself standing in a wondrous valley. The sky was a deep indigo blue, the trees shimmered with silver leaves, and glowing blue flames floated gently across a vast, still lake. "What is this place?" she whispered. Ezalon replied, "This is my realm, the kingdom of the Shadow Lake. It is home to creatures the world has forgotten, those once cast away as darkness." Days passed, and Ezabell wandered through that mystical land. The trees spoke in gentle voices, raindrops told stories as they fell, and at night, fireflies sang songs beneath the moonlight. Slowly, she began to uncover the truth of Ezalon's soul. He was no monster, he was a sorcerer cursed by an ancient spell. Once a ruler of light, he had lost his kingdom and his magic to a dark enchantment. Yet within him still burned a kind and selfless spirit. Love bloomed between them. Ezabell found peace in his shadow, and he found hope in her light. One night by the lake, under a sky full of blue stars, Ezalon said softly, "Ezabell, your presence has changed my world. But if you marry me, you will share my curse. You will lose your light." She took his hand and whispered, "In love, there is both light and shadow. I am not afraid of the darkness if it means being with you." The next day, amid clouds that shimmered like crystal mist, their wedding took place beside the lake. The sea spirits, wind fairies, and forest guardians gathered to bless them. When Ezabell took Ezalon's hand, a wave of brilliance rippled through the waters. For the first time, light touched the Shadow Kingdom. A rainbow spread across the sky, and blue fireflies danced joyfully around them. The curse was broken. Ezalon's dark cloak turned to shimmering gold, the darkness left his eyes, and his face shone with life and love. Together, they returned to Elyoria. The palace glowed brighter than ever. The king and queen stood in astonishment, for their daughter's radiance was no longer born of magic, it came from love itself. Ezalon, once the prince of shadows, had become the king of light. He said, "I have learned that darkness is not evil, it is only a place waiting for light to arrive." Years passed, and peace spread throughout Elyoria. Princess Ezabell and her unusual groom united two worlds, the human and the magical. No longer did the creatures of shadow and light fear one another. Instead, they lived in harmony. Every year, on the night of their wedding, the blue fireflies returned to the lakeshore, glowing softly as if remembering that moment when light and darkness became one. And when the night wind swept across the kingdom, it carried a whisper. Love is the greatest magic of all, the light that can make even the darkness shine. And so, the tale of the enchanted princess and her unusual groom became a legend, a timeless dream that lived forever in the hearts of all who believed in true love.